Hey, Pastor Preston is my name. Okay, so access is not a gift. Access is earned. When you give people access, right, there most likely will be consequences. You must understand what you are, where you are going, and the kind of people that can be close to you. Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together except they be agreed? That means you cannot really walk with everybody. Even Jesus Christ, if you read very closely, you see that he had 12 disciples. And even though he had 12 disciples, when he went to the mountain where he transfigured, he never took all the other disciples there. Rather, he said to the three who was there, don't say to anybody what you have seen here. Are you trying to say Jesus didn't love the others? He did love them. However, they lack capacity to understand the things that they saw. Then most importantly, because of how much the three trusted him as against these other ones, right? So he could not gain them access into that kind of space, right? Did you notice that even in the wilderness, God said only Moses saw him face to face, right? Even Aaron, who was Moses' prophet, did not see God face to face. And notice when, Aaron and Miriam felt that Moses had done something wrong and they wanted to gossip about it, they said, is it only Moses God speaks to? And then God gave the distinction. He said, well, maybe I speak to you through different means, but only Moses, right, saw me face to face. Imagine if God had loose guarded and said, oh, no, Aaron, see me face to face, then he would not have regard for Moses. Think about that, right? So access does not just happen. You don't just grant anybody access. Even Joseph, right? When Joseph dreamed, Joseph did not just move from dreaming, right, to becoming the prime minister. He had to go through certain processes, and by what he proved he had capacity for, he was granted to be, right, the prime minister. Listen, let people in positions in your life and not necessarily just give them because of sentiment or bias or how you feel about them. So a lot of times you don't get to regret it. Sometimes when you give people a position that they lack capacity for, they will hurt themselves, they will hurt the position, they will even hurt the people who they ought to serve. And if you're not careful, you will also be hurt by it. Remember, the scripture says, cast not your pears on swine. It says, lest they trample on it and come back and tear you. You know, pears are very, very costly treasure. But it says, not everybody you cast it on. So be careful how you make yourself available to certain places. As a matter of fact, even Proverbs says, when you show up in someone's house too much, they'll start losing value for you. But you know, there's some people you can show up all the time and they won't lose value for you because they understand who you are and they honor you. Anybody who know how to disrespect very quickly, you must know how to stay away from them, because once they dishonor you, right, you cannot bless them or you cannot be of value. Have you ever been with your friend before and you shared a great idea with them and they never took it seriously, and then they heard it from another person and then they came to share with you and say, well, you see, I heard this great stuff before, and just noticing that they came to tell you the same thing you told them they never valued. That just told you that they really don't honor you the way you think, right? That's how life just works. So be careful the people you grant access to your life so you don't make a mess. The scripture tells us to forgive everybody. The scripture tells us to love everybody. However, while we forgive and we love, it doesn't necessarily mean that you must give access to those people, right? Jesus loved Judas and all the things that Judas did, right? But take note, right? Judas didn't have the kind of access like John had to Jesus, right? So be careful the people you grant access to your life. They can ruin you. They can mess you up, right? They could sell you for, to the wrong people, right? Be very careful, okay? And I'm not in any way trying to tell you to separate yourself from people or to begin to become biased or want to, behave as if people are of no worth, or I'm speaking about pride or anything. No, that's not what I'm trying to talk about. I'm only trying to say protect your space, right? Keep the right people, the people who can collaborate with you to become great, the people who can allow you to impact them with their humility, and the people who, right, can listen to you and honor what you have, as against the people who just wants to be around you for gain, right? To destroy you or just to allow you not to grow. The people around you will determine how you will go in life, right? And the people around you will determine whether you fall in life. It's just how it works. So try to guide your space. It was very clear in Proverbs chapter number 4, verse number 23. It says, guide your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. If you allow anything to show up in your space, I promise you, because in 1 Corinthians chapter number 15, verse number 33, it says, evil communication corrupt good manners. So when people who lack value for the things that you honor, or who don't have capacity for where you are going, show up in your life and you continue to condone them or tolerate them in your space, they most likely will cause you not to get to where you are going in life. Guide your life very importantly, because you need to understand that you only have one life to live. You can't come back here and correct it. And sometimes the things that are destroying us are the things that are sweet to us, because those things that are sweet can be nasty, right? They have nothing really to offer. And the things that we beautify our life, the things that we push us, stretch us, take us to the next level, they could come with a lot of headache, right? Because they are not in our comfort zone and they are trying to, create a new threshold for us, right? To keep people who inspires you, keep people who have something to offer, keep people who are willing to learn, keep people who have something to collaborate with you for you guys to become great. Because greatness does not just happen with one person, it happens with several people. And don't forget, human beings are product of influence. So the things in your space will determine where you get to in life. So guide your space with all diligence. I hope this blessed you. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.